Okay, so just before I get into the video, I just want to do a little intro to address the elephant in the room. Yes, I had a little bit of work done. I got my lips filled and I also got a tiny bit of Botox just around my eyes. I got this done yesterday, so it's all fresh and new, swollen and bruised. And I know like this is not how it will be, hopefully, unless I am botched, which, knowing my look, I probably will be that botched person. But I have done a vlog and I'm currently kind of documenting the whole kind of experience with like my first ever cosmetic surgery. So I will be doing like a dedicated video explaining everything and just kind of, telling you about everything that happened. So I don't want this video to be kind of taken up with me talking about it, even though I'm talking about it and we've not even got to the video yet. But I just wanted to say that here and now so that I can just solely focus on this eyeshadow palette. So there will be another video coming which explains everything, but yes, anyway, so that's me done. This bit's done. Enjoy the video, guys, enjoy it. Hello there and welcome back to the channel. So unfortunately, because of the reasons I have just explained, I cannot smile, and for someone that is very, very smiley, it is extremely sad. Hello there. So today we're going to be trying out the first of the Little Elfos eyeshadow palettes that Little Elfos very kindly sent over to me. I did do a haul video about a week ago where I showed every single palette and I asked if you guys could comment and let me know which of the palettes appeal to you the most, and all of them look so gorgeous. But I am actually so happy that the Scorpio palette got kind of the most attention, I feel. We're going to be trying the Scorpio palette today. So this is what the Scorpio palette looks like. I just think she looks like the perfect palette. She's got a whole host of beautiful shades. We've got the lighter, more summery shades, and we've also got the deeper, more vampy, dark shades. We've got a mix of formulas within the shimmers. We've got like foil shimmers. We've got kind of very sheer, almost kind of topper-like shimmers. We've got duochrome shimmers. I did take the liberty of doing the swatches yesterday because I wasn't able to film and I wanted to do something. I'm not the kind of person that can just rest. Like, I like to keep busy and keep out of trouble. So I did do all of the swatches yesterday, so I'm going to insert that footage now. So I found that the mattes were very smooth, creamy and silky feeling. The lighter shades were not super pigmented in any way, but they are very easily built up. I did go in and do like double swatches of quite a few of these, only because I wanted us to really be able to see the colour. I'm kind of glad that I did, because I think you can see how they do very easily build up. Also, just to mention as well, the way that I was filming these swatches was so awkward. Like, I don't know why I insisted on making life so difficult for myself, but I wanted to like live swatch. I didn't want to just do the swatches and then show you the done swatches. I wanted you to actually see how they swatch, but it was like really awkward, and I found that just everything, the angles I was trying to do it at was just a bit clunky. So I do apologize about that. What I will say, the darker mattes were very smooth also, and actually very nicely pigmented. The main thing for me is that these shadows felt very silky and creamy, and I don't feel like, even though they are matte, they almost did have a slight bit of a satin feel to them. But overall, I thought that they were actually very beautiful and very true to the colours that you do see in the pans. Now, the shimmers in this palette are what I feel are really exciting. Most of them are quite sheer, so you may kind of think of them as like toppers. I would say that they are absolutely sensational. They have a real kind of wet look sheen. When I put a picture up on Instagram of some of these eyeshadows. Some people actually thought that they were highlighters because they do have a real kind of glow to them. Again, they have a very kind of creamy feel. There are a few different formulas. You've got the foiled formula, which is quite chunky, and then you've got a couple of the others are also quite chunky feeling too, but they do kind of very easily kind of, you know, smooth into your skin. There's also a lot of duochrome going on, and one of the shadows in particular I was really impressed with was a black, and it had lots of little kind of purple and blue glitters in it, and I think I'm definitely going to have to use that one today. I also do believe that you could also use some of these shimmers for highlights because they definitely do have that kind of real kind of glow to them. So overall, I was deeply impressed with the swatches, but as always, you know, swatches, they are really for me just an indication of the kind of texture of a shadow and the shade. So I mean, I'm feeling super confident about this palette, but you just never know. Also, at the end of the video, if you do want to go ahead and purchase this palette, or if you just want to check out Little Elfos and see what else they have to offer, they do have a website. It's www.littleelfos.com, and they have very kindly offered me a 10% discount code for you guys as well, which is Anwen in all caps. Actually, this Lena is who I've been dealing with from PR, and she sent me a message saying that because she's watched my other videos, she's noticed that I do tend to review more affordable kind of makeup, so which is what prompted her to give me the code, which I thought was really thoughtful. This palette cost $28, so I think that works out to be like £25, and then if you use the code as well, you do get a little bit of money off. So as I'm reviewing this palette today, I'm really going to be looking for obviously the quality as always, but I'm going to be kind of looking to see, do I think it's worth that extra money from a lot of the other eyeshadow palettes that I tend to buy from AliExpress. By the way, this palette is not sold on AliExpress. I mistakenly said it was, but it's not. I am also going to be trying out the other palettes as well, so you will see those videos popping up over the next kind of couple of weeks. Also as well, I'm not going to put foundation on today because I don't want to be like messing with my skin too much, so I've got a tinted moisturizer on, and at that I'm just going to leave it at that. Like, I really hope that you don't mind, but I just giving my skin a little bit of a break right now. Okay, so to begin, I'm going to use my Conceal and Define. Is that the name? I have no idea. Yes, Conceal and Define Concealer by Makeup Revolution in the shade C3, and I'm just using this as an all over lid base. Okay, so I did notice that in the Scorpio palette we don't have a matte kind of white shade, so I've just pulled out the Vingo palette by Little Elfos, and I'm going to be using this shade here, which is their lightest, brightest matte white, just to set the lids. Okay, so to begin, we're going to go in with this light khaki kind of shade. So it's kind of like a greeny kind of brown. It is very light, and it's a very unique shade. I like how it looks to be super cool tone, so I'm just going to start to kind of blend that through my crease. So I'm going to be using the Jessup soft crease brush to apply. Okay, so this is actually looking a lot browner than I expected on the lid. I don't know if I was just imagining that I could see some green in there, but yeah, it's definitely coming out a lot browner and actually not as cool toned as I was expecting. I think it's nicely pigmented, you can definitely see it there, and it is a very easy to blend. So I'm liking. Okay, so next I've switched my brush to the Morphe brush. I don't know its name, but she is the Morphe and she's here to party. Apply a little bit more of this same shade. Okay, so I want to spice this up a little bit. So we're going to go in with the shade above the one we've just used. Now this one definitely does have a lot more green to it. It's kind of not your typical brown. So I'm going to use this just blended into the other shade that we've used, just to create a little bit of je ne sais quoi. I can already feel like the comments here, like Oh, Anwen, why did you do that to your lips? Oh no, Anwen. Oh no. I know the majority of you guys are going to be like so supportive and encouraging of everything, but I know there's going to be some people. By the way, oh my gosh, can I just stop what I'm ranting on about to say how beautiful is this eyeshadow? It's a brown, but it's not just a brown. It definitely has a hint of like yellow to it, and it really just gives it an extra kind of oomph. I'm really loving that. If you're a fan of like browns, but brown with something a little bit extra, then this shadow is really gorgeous. Yeah, guys, I do not want this comment section to really be about my lips. I know the lips, they were unexpected. I didn't really tell anyone I was getting them done, other than Honey's, of course. You know, and I'm happy about it. I'm really happy about it. And I've been wanting to do it for ages. I researched and researched till I couldn't research anymore. I'm looking forward to get my video up with, you know, all of the info though, so that, I don't know, you like all of the info is there. So anyway, guys, I'm going to stop talking. I just don't like not being able to smile. Like, that's not good. We've used 2 shadows so far, and I think we've got a lot. Like, we've got a lot. Okay, so next I'm going to go under the eye, and I am going to use a mix of those 2 shades that we have already used. So we're going to be using the lighter brown and then the yellowy tone brown. So I go in with the yellowy tone brown first. Oh my gosh, I am really deeply impressed with the quality of these eyeshadows. They actually are reminding me at this point of the Zodiac palette eyeshadows by BH Cosmetics. They are actually really pigmented. Can you see? Like, we've only used 2 shadows, but because that brown shade has got the yellow in it, it actually makes it look like I've used more shades, but I've not. But it's making it look that way, and I'm living for it. This could be like a lazy makeup junkie's dream palette, because it already looks super like defined. I feel like it looks like I've been sat here blending for days, and I'm not. I've been sat on the sofa applying more Vaseline than a orgy would have applied. Do you know what I mean? You know what? Because that shade is just so extra, I don't actually need to apply any of the first shade. I'm just living my very best yellow brown life with this shade. Do you know what though? This look is going off in a direction that I didn't necessarily plan for it to go in, but I mean, who gives a feck? Originally I was going to use like this matte kind of black with the beautiful purple and blue glitters in, and I was going to use like this duochrome shimmer as like a base, but because we've got quite a warm look going on, I think I'm going to just go warm. I'm going warm, and then maybe I'll do another video where I will try more of a cooler toned look. So I actually think that this shimmer is just jumping right out at me. It's like a duochrome. In some lights it looks like a vintage green, and in other lights it looks like a kind of golden yellow. It's so gorgeous. Before we go into it, I'm just going to apply a little bit of this very so cool toned brown. It looks green. Why do I think that every brown isn't just a brown and it's got like green or yellow in it? I just feel like this palette, oh my gosh, I'm just thanking the eyeshadow palette gods right now for this palette. I mean, I thought she was going to be good, but so far she is like far exceeding my expectations, which is just excellent. Fucking excellent. But I'm not using that brush. Like, what? I've lost like my favourite blending brush, which is, oh, is it in here? Let me just see. It may have just got itself lost in here. So I don't know where my favourite V-shaped brush, I don't know where my favourite V-shaped, well, I don't know what I'm saying. Oh my gosh. I was intent on making that a thing, and it was never going to be a thing. So I'm just going to dip into this beautiful dark shade, and we're just going to pop that gently into the outer V. Can you see? I'm just going to apply a little bit more onto my brush. These shadows so far are just so beautiful. They're the eyeshadow equivalent of a well-trained dog. They move in the ways you wish them to move, and they don't poo on your bed. Well, I mean, I don't think anyone would, but you know, they've definitely got a little bit of like a creaminess to them. I just think they're so, oh, my lips, oh my gosh. I had the nerve to rest my little finger against my lips and oh my gosh, the lips were not into it. Okay, so there we go. I do feel like that shade isn't the most pigmented for a deep, darker kind of shade. However, I do feel like you could definitely like build it up, but we're going to jump right into a shimmer. So as I said, we're going to be using this beautiful one, and I think I'm just going to use my finger at first to apply. She definitely has quite a chunky element to her, but I just feel like sometimes these chunkier shimmers can really give you so much glow. I think the trick is not to apply too much because then it can look really chunky on your lid. Okay, so there we go. I think she's gorgeous. She's everything that she said on the tin. I do wish that she had a little bit more like glow, like sheen, you know, shimmer to her. But I do feel like maybe if we use a wet brush, we could definitely create that. Okay, so I'm going to spray a little bit of my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray on my makeup table, and then I'm just going to dip my brush in, and then we're going to see what the shimmer's like with a wet brush. I definitely do feel confident that this is going to take it to the next level. Already it just looks like melted metal. Okay, so that's what I wanted. Like this is the look I was going for. Can you see we've just got a little bit more in the way of like sheen? You can also really see the duochrome element to this shadow. We've got kind of like a yellowy gold and then kind of like a bronze, and I just think it looks so gorgeous. I mean, she was pretty without the wet brush, but I definitely feel like the wet brush is the way forward. I use a wet brush with every single shimmer apart from the Baked Shimmers in the Zodiac palettes because they don't need a wet brush. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to create the same look on the other eye. I'm going to apply a little bit of eyeliner, really badly probably, and then I'll finish off the rest of my makeup and I'll be back to give you my final thoughts. And by the way, I've decided I'm definitely going to be doing another video where I try the more cooler toned shadows in this palette as well, so because I really did want to create that kind of look too. But anyway, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I have finished the look. I went ahead and just put foundation on because it just looked kind of crazy not to have foundation on. So I just thought, you know what, I can't give you a half-assed job here. I had to just go all out, and because the eye look turned out so beautifully, I had to do foundation. So anyway guys, I am so happy to say that this palette has completely exceeded my very high expectations. I thought that the mattes that I used were just super easy to work with, extremely pigmented, like far more pigmented than I was actually expecting even from the swatches. They just went on like butter. They did everything I wanted them to do, and I just love them. I'm also super impressed with the two shimmers that I tried, although I do feel like having the wet brush definitely did take this shimmer to a whole other level. I also used this slightly like chunkier shimmer just to highlight the inner corner and under my brow zone, and it was sensational. Definitely definitely a chunkier kind of consistency, but absolutely beautiful no less. I know that I've not really used loads of the shadows within this palette, but I am definitely going to be doing a follow-up video where I am going to be doing more of a vampy cool toned look using these two beautiful shadows right here. So to wrap this video up, I would definitely recommend this palette. Yes, it costs a little bit more than the eyeshadow palettes that I would usually buy from AliExpress. I would say that it probably costs about £15 more, but in terms of the quality, I would definitely say that the additional cost is very well justified because the shadow's more pigmented, the shimmers just feel overall better, and also don't forget you get a thick load of colours in this palette. You've got 30 different shades, and I feel like this is quite similar to the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette in that you could use this palette I think every day for like a year and create a different look every single time. So if you're looking to have a palette that's just extremely versatile, that you could just use every single day, this will be a really good one to get. Similarly, if you are new to makeup, you don't have a massive collection, this would also be a really good palette to buy, because I feel like you've just got everything that you could ever wish for in one palette, apart from a matte white, of course, but I mean that's the only one. Anyway guys, it feels really sad that I'm not able to give you like a big smile, especially when the review was so positive, and I feel so happy and excited about this palette, but I'm not able to express it within my face right now. But if you could let me know in the comments downstairs what you thought of this palette, if you are going to be going and checking out any of Little Elfos' makeup, I would definitely say maybe just hold back a little bit, because I am going to be trying out the other palettes that I've got, so you could maybe watch those other videos and like see. However, if you do want to get like a really amazing, phenomenal, sensational eyeshadow palette, this will be a really good one to go for. Thank you, of course, to Little Elfos for sending me this palette. I am so grateful to be able to have the opportunity to A, have the palette, but B, try it out so that you guys can see how it works. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hopefully my next video, I'm not going to look so fish lip like, but anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.